A very, very good evening to you. Warm welcome from me. It's 20 past 8 here in the UK, but wherever you are in the world, it's nice to see you. I hope you've been playing, but if you haven't, then we're going to go through the 8 hands that have been played this evening, the last in the set of hands about safety plays. And I know I've said it no end of times before, but we'll say it again. Safety plays are plays that try and ensure you get the tricks that you need at the possible expense of over tricks. Over tricks unimportant as long as you get the tricks you need. So you sometimes sacrifice that possibility in order to make sure that you make your contract. That's what these safety plays are all about. Okay, board one is on your screen, and no opposition bidding, and North finds himself in 6 clubs. So we'll just enter 6 clubs by North. And the lead is the Queen of Spades. No, it's not. Undo. The lead is the King of Diamonds. There we go. Take this trick and then we'll decide. We've got no choice about this one. And what have we got? Well, assuming that the clubs behave reasonably well, we've got 6 club tricks and 2 heart tricks is 8, and 2 spade tricks is 10, and the ace of diamonds is 11. Is that right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we just need to rough a spade. We got that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Okay. Looks easy. What can go wrong? How are we going to approach this? Even if we lose a trick to the Jack of Clubs, 2 spade ruffs would see a home. So, but what's the danger? Well, the danger is that if we try to ruff the first club with the 10, the first spade rather, with the 10 of clubs, let's see what happens. Looking very easy until that gets over ruffed, and then a club comes back. And all of a sudden, we've got a spade loser that we didn't think we had. Nowhere for it to go. Got no squeeze, no nothing. We're going to go off if we tackle it like that. Let's just go back a couple of tricks. Now, what we're going to try and do instead, we don't know, the clubs might be breaking 4-1, so they might have a trick with the Jack of Clubs anyway, in which case we've only got 5 club tricks, and 2 heart tricks is 7, and the ace of diamonds is 8, and 2 spades is 10. 1 spade ruff would be 11, but we can either ruff 2 spades, and if they both get ruffed okay, then we don't care if we lose to the Jack of Clubs. Or we can ruff the first spade with the King of Clubs. Now we cross back to our hand. And now we will try to ruff the second spade with the 10 of clubs. If that stands up with West following to the spade, then we can afford to give up a club. And if the clubs are behaving well, then we'll finish up with 13 tricks. But here, of course, he can over-ruff it, but that's their only trick. We have the rest of the clubs and we have the ace of hearts, and all we've lost is one trick. Just lost the jack of clubs. Can you all see that? Let's play my 12 tricks. So the secret was here, A, we wanted to protect ourselves against the clubs breaking 4-1, which was possible, in which case we needed to ruff 2 spades, and then we could afford to give them a club. But we combined the 2 chances by ruffing the first of those spade ruffs with the king of clubs, which can't be over-ruffed, and then the second one with the 10 of clubs. If it is over-ruffed, that will be their only trick. And if it's not over-ruffed, we can, if necessary, lose a trick to the jack of clubs. We don't really care. Okay, do we have any questions or comments on board 1? I have to say that this evening, when I watched some of these tables, the defence was quite lax on quite a few tables. Declarers, in some cases, had no problem at all because the defence didn't do what I thought was fairly obvious. But we'll come to those as we come to them. I don't think the defence can do anything else here, except was there a position where somebody ruffed with the 10 of clubs and it was over-ruffed and a club didn't come back? If that was the case, exactly, yeah, I thought so. If that was the case, then declarer was lucky, because now they've made their contract when they shouldn't have. If the trump comes back, declarer finishes up with a spade loser that he was hoping he didn't have. So a few lax defences tonight. Yes, never mind, Chris. Never mind, Chris. Right, do we have any other comments or questions on board 1? Okay, we will move on to board 2. Send it to the table. Here we go. And board 2, no opposition bidding. The auction we had was 1 heart from East, 1 heart, 2 diamonds, 3 diamonds, 4 hearts. So, but East is going to play this in 4 hearts. And this was another case of the defence, I thought, not doing what I would have expected them to do. The lead you were given was the ace of spades. Now, it's debatable whether you should signal with the jack of spades or not. I think I would, because I'm expecting partner to have the king if he leads the ace, and I do want him to continue. So if you're playing standard signals either on counter or encouragement, then I would play the jack. Declare a cash as the second one. And I think at 2 tables, people switched at this point. And I don't think declarer had much of a problem then, apart from Jeff, who was trying to guard against something that was extremely unlikely. Not like Jeff, but that's what he did. He thought, this is too easy, what's going on? And he invented a problem for himself that he couldn't solve. You have my sympathy, Jeff. But I think the fairly obvious thing to do is to continue with a spade. Yes, you know that it can be ruffed and over-ruffed, but he won't get a discard later on that 10 of spades if you play a spade now. So I think the correct continuation would be a spade. And I think that North should really do his bit by ruffing as high as he can. His jack of hearts is not really going to present any problems, I don't think, by saving it. But here's the best question. If declarer over-ruffs, which seems a fairly natural thing to do, then let's see what happens. Right, so now he tries to draw trumps. And South, you see, now has got a trump trick. Exactly, Jeff. Yes. And you're still going to lose a diamond. There's nowhere for your diamond loser to go. You can throw one diamond away on the king of clubs, but you're still left with a diamond finesse that you can't avoid, and it's not working. So by over roughing, you have given this contract away. Let's go back and think about it. Exactly, Jeff. Yes, Jeff has offered a little bit of advice for us there. Now, why is this so difficult to see? I'm not quite sure. If we just think about it, let's assume that the diamond finesse is wrong. Well, if it is, then we'll lose a diamond, but we'll only lose the one if we take the diamond finesse. But if we throw a diamond on this trick, and we can throw another diamond on the third round of clubs, then we won't have a diamond loser at all. So this is far better than potentially promoting a heart trick for the opposition. So what we're going to do instead, yes, thank you, Jock. We're going to throw a diamond. So what's he going to do? Well, he can't play a diamond. He doesn't really want to play a club, but he'll play a heart, say. Well, fairly easy now. Draw two more rounds of trumps. The trumps drawn. Now we finish the ace queen of clubs. Away goes our other losing diamond. We need the finesse, and we claim the rest of the tricks. No, I didn't, John. Well, he can't. If we know that's not the case, Jeff, because North has ruffed with the jack, so we know he can't have Jack 10 8 2. If he had Jack 10 8 2 to start with, I think then he was always going to make a heart trick and two spades, and they're still going to make a diamond. If North ruffed with the 4, then the over ruff, if South has got Jack 10 8x, if the 4 was a singleton, then yes, it is still going to go off. But when no, I don't think it is, because the 4 will be over ruff with the 5, and you can still draw 3 rounds of trumps. Yeah, you're still going to lose a diamond and a trump, aren't you, as well as the 2 spades. So if the hearts are 4-1, then you're not going to be making this. Yeah, you invented a problem, Jeff. Linda's telling me about this all the time, you know. She said she's always inventing problems. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 2? Okay, let's see if we can get to board 3. And if we thought that was difficult to spot, well, I think this one is in many ways worse. But let's have a look and see what happens. This time there is a competitive auction, so we'll go through the auction. 1 spade by South, pass. 2 spades by North. 3 diamonds by East. It's a nice 6-card suit, why not? 3 spades by South. West hasn't got anything to contribute, and North says, all right, why not? And again, this is one of these situations where the defence didn't do what I thought they probably ought to do. But started off with the ace of diamonds, yeah, that's fine. One table, somebody signalled violently, yes please, I want a diamond continuation. At this point, South has got the Queen of Diamonds, and East knows that, and left to himself, he can discard maybe a club loser from dummy on it, unless he can get partner to rough it. He knows partner hasn't got any more diamonds either, so the diamond can be over roughed, but you know, at least declarer won't get a discard. So, but certainly at one table, the switch to a club was found, and then declarer didn't have any problems. He drew all the trumps, discarded the club from dummy on the Queen of Diamonds, and claimed his 10 tricks. But let's see what happens if we do continue with a diamond. West roughs. And it looks so natural to over rough, doesn't it? But let's see what happens if we do. So we over rough it to 10, and we quickly discover that East has now got a spade trick. Doesn't matter what we do, we leave the queen, he puts the king on, he's got the 9-8 against the jack. He has a natural spade trick. And we're also going to lose a club. So that's going to be one off, because there's nowhere for the club to go. Let's just see it in action, see what happens. So we play a spade, say. We take the finesse, and we expect the finesse to work because it was East that made the overcall. And he's had these shown up with the King of Diamonds and King Jack of Diamonds. That's all at the moment. He's surely got the King of Spades. But he's got a spade trick now. There's nothing we can do about it. And there's nowhere for the club loser to go. So we're going to claim one off at this point. Down one. And then we'll reload the board to the table. Just let's play playing 4 spades this time. And the answer to how we avoid that problem is very similar to the hand before. We just need to think about it. Rough. We don't over off, we discard a club instead. Because we expect the spade finesse to be right, and we expect to be able to rough a club in dummy now. So what can West do? Well, maybe he leads a heart. Right, so we'll go up with the king. Now we'll lead the 10 of spades. Let him cover it, we don't really care. Now we can draw 2 more rounds of trumps. And all we need to do now is rough a club in dummy. But in many ways, this is harder to see. than hand 2. Not sure why that's the case, but then we can claim our 10 tricks now. Okay, so similar to the previous one, rough by the opposition, we need to stop and look, is it going to cost us to over rough? Or maybe we can let him have that rough and we get rid of a club loser instead. Now, in this particular case, we can use that because we know that the king of spades is going to be where we want it. If East has not got the king of spades, he's got 6 diamond tricks. He's got 6 diamonds to the king jack and possibly the queen jack of clubs, and that's it. You know, so he really wouldn't have an overcall. Well, vulnerable overcalls for me are worth a little bit more than 6 or 7 points, I think, Douglas. But you know, it depends who you play with. I think, but I think I would be tending to assume that because of the overcall, vulnerable when the auction's gone 1 spade, 2 spades, 3 diamonds, I would expect a little more than king jack to 6 diamonds and the queen of clubs, and possibly the jack of hearts. You know, he really can't have much more. Do we have any other comments on board 3, or questions indeed? We love questions. Do our very best to answer. Diamond jack, you know. I say I saw that because it happened at least one table. I can't watch all the tables at the same time, John. Okay. No more questions or comments on board 3. Okay. Board 4 coming up. This, I think, is a tricky one. Now, some people made it, and they made it in a way that couldn't be defeated, I think, but I'm not absolutely sure. But I think there's a better line. I don't think anybody found the line that I think should be followed. But let's have a look. We will give you the auction, although it was uncontested. 1 spade, 2 diamonds by East, 3 clubs. So at that point, East knows that there's at least 5 spades opposite. 3 spades. I think they play that as forcing, 1 spade, 2 diamonds. So 3 spades is forcing, I think. But 4 clubs, I'm interested in a slam. All right, 6 spades. Okay, but North decides to lead a trump. All right, so let's put the contract to 6 spades by West. Now, I don't think we can lead too much into the spade lead, except that, you know, we're wide open in the red suits. We're missing king, queen, jack of hearts, and we're missing king, queen, jack, 10 of diamonds, and yet they've led a spade. If there's any indication at all, it's that North has got values in clubs because he's heard the club bid, and he doesn't want dummy to be roughing possible club winners. That's a possibility, right? But whatever way we do it, we're going to win the first spade dummy, we think. Do we need to be in hand? No, we've got no finesse position. So what have we got? We've got 6 spade tricks and 1 heart trick is 7. 1 diamond trick is 8. 2 clubs is 10. We need 2 clubs roughs in dummy. Okay. So what's the danger? Well, let's work it out. Let's see what happens if we try to rough 2 clubs in dummy. Well, he roughs that, and the problem is now is that although we can still rough 2 clubs, we're still going to have a club loser and nowhere for it to go. I think Jock solved the problem neatly by ducking a club. He won one club and then gave them a club, and now they couldn't. Well, I'm not sure. I think it could have gone down if North had decided to carry on with another trump. But let's see what we could have done. So that's claim. We're going to claim that as one off at the moment. And we'll put the hand back to the table. And let's see what we can do better. We're just going to bid 6 spades by West this time. And really, the only problem that you could have was if that second club got ruffed. This is what we're going to do. On the spade, we're going to play a club. We're going to win it. But now we're going to cross the dummy with a diamond. And we're going to lead a club from dummy. Now, if South roughs that, he's roughing a loser. And he can't play another trump. So we can always rough the other 2 losing clubs with the ace queen of spades. And of course, if South follows to this club, then we'll go up and play the king, and we'll get our 2 roughs anyway. So what we've protected ourselves against is the clubs breaking as badly as they did. If we try to cash the king, South will rough it and we'll finish up with a second club loser that we can't afford. But by playing the second club from dummy, if he roughs it, he's roughing a loser, and we can rough the 4 of the clubs and the 7 of clubs with the ace queen of spades. Nobody can stop us. And if he doesn't rough it at all, then we can win with the king and rough with the ace, go back to the ace of hearts and rough another one, and then we can get back to hand with a diamond rough and draw the trump. So it's a perfect safety play to guard against bad club break. Let's assume that he does rough it. It seems a fairly obvious thing for him to do. Well, maybe try to cash the king of diamonds. Roughing one club. Back with the ace of hearts. Diamond looks a little dangerous, although the trumps are high anyway. Rough another club with the ace of spades. Need to rough something to get to hand. All our trumps are high. Weymar 12 tricks. What a shame South didn't have 3 spade rags. Yeah, that's a possibility, Jeff. But we gave ourselves the best chance by playing it the way we did. Do we have any questions or comments on board 4? Oh, that's praise indeed from Jeff. Well, it depends on partnership agreement there, Jock. Yeah, I mean, you're quite happy for you to raise it. It's one of those things, isn't it? 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 3 clubs for me. That's forcing. A new suit at the 3 level is forcing. That's what I would think. And I think it should be game forcing. Yeah. So that's why the 3 spade bid was also forcing. You know, in my book. So oh, Jock agrees with me. Oh dear, that's a bad sign. Okay. Can't have that. If we have any more questions or comments on board 4. All right, we'll move on to board 5. don't tend to understand the American bidding. I keep trying, but doesn't get anywhere lots of the time. Right, auction is 1 no trump, 3 no trumps, so North is going to play this in 3 no trumps. No opposition bidding. And I watched Ken play this one, and as I expected, really, Ken played it card perfect. But we will come to it. And we get the lead of the, the 10 of spades, because if you're playing strong 10s, as I tend to play, that 10 says I've either got the jack or the 9, or possibly both, and one higher non-touching honour. So it's typically the lead from ace jack 10, king jack 10, king 10 9, queen 10 9, that sort of holding. The difference is if you lead the jack, partner knows you haven't got anything higher. But you have to remember to lead the 9 from a suit that's headed by the 10 9 8, for example, 10 9 7, something like that. But anyway, I play strong 10s. I'd recommend at least that you think about them if you don't already play them. Here, that 10 says I've either got, the 10, the jack or the 9, possibly both of them, and I have a higher non-touching honour, which here can only be the king. Right, so the declarer knows that as well. So he's fairly confident the queen of spades is going to be a trick. Assuming that 10 of spades is from length, it might be from a doubleton, of course, or a singleton. If you're looking for partner suit, anything is possible. But he plays the queen, all is well. Right, so where do we go for tricks? We've now got 2 spade tricks and 3 heart tricks is 5. Only 1 club trick is 6, and 2 diamonds is 8. Well, we could hope that the clubs would break 3-2. That's the most likely, but unfortunately, the opposition are ahead in the race. They're going to establish their spades before we can establish enough club tricks. We'd have to lose 2 club tricks to generate a third one. And in the meantime, they'll set their spades up. So clubs are a non-starter. That means we need 3 tricks from the diamond suit. And we've seen this combination before, haven't we? Many times. They've appeared in the hands that I've set and the hands that Alan has set and so on. Many times the same particular motif has appeared. This ace jack to 4 opposite king to 3, or king jack to 4 opposite ace to 3. What it boils down to, what is the best way? What is the which method gives you the best chance of making 3 tricks out of that combination? And notice I say 3 tricks. That's what we need. We have 2 spades and 3 hearts is 5, and the ace of clubs is 6. We need 3 tricks, not 4. If we needed 4, we have little choice but to play the king of diamonds and then finesse the jack and hope that that wins and that the suit breaks 3-3. That's our only chance really of making 4 tricks from that holding. But we only need 3, and that changes things dramatically. Those that cashed the king and took the diamond finesse are unlucky, because now they'll play, the spades will be cleared and they still haven't got 3 diamond tricks, and off they go. Ken did what I expected him to do. He tackled the diamonds straight away. But how did he tackle the diamonds? Well, this is what Ken did. He played a diamond, cashed the ace of diamonds, and then he played a second diamond, and he's going to put the king on, even if the queen doesn't appear. But of course, the queen does appear. And now he's got his 3 diamond tricks, and he's got his contract. But let's say the queen had not appeared. What he would do next would be play another diamond. So what will happen is he'll make 3 diamond tricks any time that East has got the queen. He'll also make 3 diamond tricks any time that the suit breaks 3-3. But he'll also make 3 diamond tricks, as we see here, any time that West has got the doubleton queen. And we can only perform that miracle if we cash the ace of diamonds and the king of diamonds and find out whether he's got the doubleton queen, so that we know that our jack is good next time. So we've got three chances really. The queen of diamonds might be doubleton with West. The diamond and the finesse might have worked. You might have made 4 tricks if East had got queen to 3 and we took the finesse, but we know we weren't trying to make 4. We were only trying to make 3. And we've given up the chance of trying to make 4 by playing it the way that we did. But that gives us the best chance of making 3 tricks, which is what we need. The king of diamonds having won, the queen's dropped. Make the jack of diamonds, and now we can claim our 9 tricks. He has again abandoned the what jock, sorry, MSC. Oh, he's not with us now. Is that what you're saying? All right. Yeah, he got it right. I mean, I was watching Ken when he played this hand, yeah. And he did he did it exactly as I showed you, ace of diamonds, king of diamonds, and then claimed he's got those tricks. How many actually made this contract, Sanya? We know. No, because what will happen then is that they will clear the spades. I don't see how ducking a diamond helps you. If West has got queen to 4, there's nothing you can do about it. You're always going to go off. And if East has got queen to 4, I don't see how it helps you to duck one first. This is a very well-known position. This ace or king and the jack and 2 small ones opposite the other top honor and 2 small ones. Your best chance of making 3 tricks is to cash the 2 top ones, finishing in the short hand. If the queen has not appeared, then lead small towards the jack. And you'll always make 3 tricks if the queen is where you wanted it to be. You'll make 3 tricks if the suit has broken 3-3, regardless of who's got the queen. And you'll also make 3 tricks when the queen drops doubleton, as it did do here. Okay, do we have any other questions? Ace of diamonds, king, and then small towards the jack if the queen hasn't appeared. Yes, Makiko. And if East has got the queen, your jack will win, or the queen will appear and the jack will still be there. Or the jack will lose to the queen, but then the suit will have broken 3-3, so your little diamond left in dummy will still be a trick. But the bonus comes when you cash the ace and the king and the queen drops. If you'd taken the finesse, the queen would have won the trick over the jack, and then East would have still had a second trick. That's really the critical point. Okay, any other questions on board 5? We move on to board 6. No, if West has queen XX, that's fine. The third one, the jack will lose to the queen, but the suit has now broken 3-3, Makiko. So the 4 of diamonds in dummy, or the 5, whichever one you got left, that will now be a trick. It's only if West has queen XXX. Yes, he needs to have queen and 3 little ones, not queen to 3. That's what you meant. Yes. If that's the case, you can't make it. Can't do it. Doesn't matter how you play them, you can't do that. Okay. What's that there? There we go. These ones in here. Export this to the table. Oh, yeah. There we go. Board 6, where are we? No opposition bidding. The bidding actually goes 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 no trump rebid, which is 15 to 17. These are mostly ACOL type sequences. And 3 no trumps by East is going to be the final contract. I think everybody got this right, and I think everybody played it right. I'm not absolutely sure, but I think that's the case. And we got the lead of the Queen, what lead do we get? Queen of Spades, yes. Okay, what have we got? Well, if the diamonds behave, we've got 6 diamond tricks, and the ace of clubs is 7, and the ace of hearts is 8, and 2 spades is 10. Okay, so if the diamonds are not 4-1 or worse, we're going to make 10 tricks. But what if they are? That's what we're thinking about here. Now, first of all, we're certainly not going to dot this spade because we don't want them switching to a club. That is visual, to a heart rather. Clubs may not be so bad, but the hearts would be nasty. So, but where are we going to win it? Well, if the diamonds don't break, we've got to do something about that. And we need to be able to get to the diamonds afterwards anyway. So we're not going to win with the ace of spades at trick 1. We're going to take the first spade in our hand. Now, we just need to think, how many tricks do we need? We've got 2 spades, 1 heart, 1 club. That is 1, 2, 3. That's 4. We need 5 diamond tricks. We don't need 6. And we can ensure that we make 5 diamond tricks by forcing out the jack while we've still got an entry. I think everybody got this right, I think. Somewhat easier to see than some of the other problems. That's very true. If we play low on this one and North follows, we've got 10 tricks. But what if he doesn't? Then we shall go off because the diamonds will not be good. But by overtaking that Queen of Diamonds and then continuing diamonds until South takes his jack, and it doesn't do any good for him to hold it up. Takes it and continues to spades, so we've already taken 4 tricks. We've got 3 more diamonds and we have 2 more aces. And that is going to be our 9 tricks. Now, this was simply a matter of overtaking the second diamond, just in case the diamonds were 4-1. If they'd been 5-0, of course, one person would have shown out on the King of Diamonds and we would have known to overtake it. When they both follow to the first one, and there'll be a temptation, and some people will lazily play the Queen, expecting it to win, and most of the time it will. And most of the time, both opponents will follow, and you'll finish up with 10 tricks. What was the problem? Well, here's the problem. If they break 4-1 and you do that, then you go down because you just don't have enough tricks anymore. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 6? Did everybody get that right, Sanya? I think they probably did. No questions, right? Let's see if I can find board 7. Upload. Okay. And no opposition bidding. We will go through the bidding. South opens this with 2 no trumps, usual sort of range for 2 no trumps. And now imagine quite a lot of people would just bid 3 no trumps anyway, but if you are playing Puppet Stayman, where the 2 no trump bid can freely include a 5-card major, then my advice would be to utilize it. You never know, partner might have 5 hearts. And if you're prepared to bid 3 no trumps anyway, then it doesn't cost you anything to 5 out. So if you're playing Puppet Stayman, 3 clubs here, says, have you got a 5 or 4-card major, partner? Fortunately, partner does not have 5 hearts. 3 diamonds says, I have at least 1 4-card major. North says, not interested. I was only interested if you had a 5-card major. Don't know how many of you play Puppet Stayman. I certainly do. And I think it's probably a good thing to do. Right, we're going to get the lead of the King of Hearts. Okay. Don't think it's going to help us to stop this, but on the other hand, the opposition can't switch to anything else that's going to hurt us, so we can duck it if we want to. Now, I noticed that quite a lot of players, probably because this was a competition and they were set hands, decided that running the 10 of clubs was a good idea. And we can see that that's going to work. But most of the time, at least half the time, it wouldn't work. And for all we know, Easter's got Jack Doubleton. So leading the 10 of clubs is not really the winning line to follow. But if we play the clubs as a lot of people would play them, let's say that we play a little club to the ace first. Let's have a look and see what happens. Then a club back to the king. Oh, well, oh dear. Now that's really unfortunate, because if we lead the 10 now, the rotten so-and-so sitting west will not put the jack on. He will play low, and we don't have a winning option. If we put the queen on, then he's going to make his jack. If we play low, we're stuck in hand. The suit is blocked. We should have seen that coming. But let's go back a little bit. And we can say to ourselves, if the clubs are 3-2, it won't really matter what we do. And if Easter's got 4 clubs to the jack, then we can't cope with it. We can't pick them up and get back to dummy. So we're going to concentrate our efforts on West having 4 to the jack. But as we've just seen, if we don't get rid of that 10, then the suit becomes blocked. But we can afford to get rid of the 10 early in the play. So having won this ace of heart, we're going to play the 10 now. We are not going to run it, although many players did, I think. We're going to win with the queen. Now we're going to play a second. Now, if they both follow to this, we've got all the club tricks we need, and we needed 5 club tricks. When they don't follow, and it's West that has the 4, we are now in a position to finesse the 9. The 10 of clubs is gone. The suit is not blocked anymore. So we can play a club and simply cover whichever one West chooses to play. And now we've got all the tricks we need. We've got 6 tricks. We're not going to take the diamond finesse because if it loses, the opposition will promptly cash 2 heart winners. So we're just going to cash our ace king of spades and the ace of diamonds to make our 9 tricks. So the secret here was to get rid of that 10 of clubs, not to run it, although at least 2 players did that. They ran the 10 and it won, and they probably thought, well, that was easy. Well, yeah, it was easy, but it wasn't the right way of playing it. Okay. Can you play the king of clubs and then the 10, provided that you intend to put the ace or queen on it? Yes, you can do that. Because if they both follow, you're going to be okay. And if they don't, and then you can come back to hand and you can still finesse the 9. Yes, absolutely right, Makiko. Provided you play the club either on the first round to the ace queen or on the second round having cashed the king. Yes. Good question. How do you choose to finesse the king 10 versus a queen 9? Well, the point is, Chris, that you can't cross to dummy and play a club to the 10 and still get back to dummy if East happens to have 4. That's the real problem. If East has got 4 to the jack 8, I mean, you can cross to dummy with a club and finesse the 10, but now you can't get back again to cash the others. So it wasn't a matter of choosing to finesse the way we were going to instead of the other way. This is the only way that can work. Yeah. Okay, good. Yes, well, West is a danger hand because he's got all the hearts. Exactly, Makiko. Quite right. Any other questions on board 7? Or comments for that matter? Good. Okay, we'll move on to board 8. Now, let's have a look at this. Well, no opposition bidding, a strong sequence, but West finishes in 6 spades. Okay, so let's just bid 6 spades by West. And the lead is the Queen of Hearts. Okay, before we decide what we're going to play, what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spade tricks, 2 heart tricks is 9, 2 other minor suit aces is 11, and our 12th trick can come from ruffing a heart in dummy. Yeah. What could go wrong? Well, as long as we get the heart ruff in dummy, in fact, they can't over ruff that 7, 6 of spades, they're high. You thought this was cute. Yeah, okay. What can go wrong? Well, what could go wrong is that if we try to cash the second heart, it could get ruffed. Let's see what happens if we try and do this. Let's have a look. We need to ruff a heart in dummy. But what could be more natural than to cash? They both follow to this piece of cake, except that they don't. And now South plays a trump back. I'm not sure how many people did that and then didn't play a trump back. And now Declare can ruff 1 heart in dummy. But he's still got a harsh loser. And as you say, Sanya, pulling trumps first is even worse. But if you just count the potential tricks that you're going to make, so that's going to be one off if we do it like that. Save it like that. Let's put the card. Export it. Vote again. Just bid 6 spades again. Indeed, of course. Now, what are we going to do? We're not going to try and cash that king of hearts. We can't get to dummy to lead a small heart from dummy. And what we're going to do instead is give them a heart. Now South can ruff that if he wants to and play a trump, but there'll still be a trump left, and we can ruff high enough that South can't over ruff it. But South probably won't. You probably ask for a club or something like that. Right, so North can play a club. And now we're going to ruff this heart. Back to hand with a diamond. And now we can simply draw the trumps, and all we've lost is the well, we can play a spade back. Yes, it doesn't really matter. The diamond is not going to get rough, but yeah, we could have played a spade back. Absolutely right. The point is, we didn't try to cash the second heart because that was the only danger. The safety play was to say, well, you know, if the second heart stands up, I don't need to, I can ruff both of them, but I don't need to. In the interests of safety, I'll let you have a heart, and then I'll ruff the other heart, and I'll make my 12 tricks. I'll give up all ideas of making 13 tricks. Don't care. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Douglas. It would be right to come back with a spade. Do we have any other comments or questions on board 8? Okay, well that concludes not only tonight's 8 hands that you've played. I hope you've enjoyed them. I know some of them have been quite challenging, but that's what makes this game so fascinating, isn't it?